that's how I define it. That's another word for that. We were bait.
I've been bait more than once, so in different situations. That's just how they work.
Yeah.
We're all pieces to them.
Yeah. So we were bait.
Well, things have morphed into such a way to where, the community is compromised. I'm not really working in the community anymore. I'm doing my work on Ascension Works TV, working with a few people like you, James Gilliland, and maybe a couple of others. But I'm focusing all of my intent on Ascension Works TV and building out these games and films and bringing my original mission to a bigger level. And I thought this Love and Light community was going to be the place to springboard everything, to shine a light, to bring everybody, millions more people to the community. But now I'm going to be doing a documentary that's going to be telling people stay away from the community, because that 30 to 40% of people, some of them are literally dangerous. My attorney nearly, was ran over and could have lost her life because of something that we believe involved with this community. I've had to do restraining orders. I've had people come to my house doing weird things. We've had death threats. We've had, it is just unbelievable what we've experienced. And after a lot of these lawsuits start to wind down and the information comes out about the details of what we've been through, my family, I think people are going to be shocked. And hopefully that can be used as an opportunity for the community to fix itself. But the 60% of Love and Light people who have good hearts won't do anything about the 30 or 40% of people who are screwing everything up. They're just like, oh, that's their experience, or, and it just continues, or, people, a lot of people in this community are getting stolen from, extorted, all sorts of criminal behaviors happening. And it's going to continue to happen because most of us are in the community are pacifists, and these predators come in, dress in sheep's clothing, and fleece the community. The community, I know a big name in the community who has been extorted several times, blackmailed. This person that he worked with, did videos with, threatened to kill him if he didn't give him near $100,000, and he did. I mean, these people just keep, or they don't fight back, and they don't put up boundaries. So this type of stuff just perpetuates, and hopefully the community can find a way to start putting up boundaries, and yes, doing lawsuits or calling police, doing restraining orders, what you need to do to set up boundaries. Otherwise, this cycle that's going on in the community is going to continue.
Yeah, that's insane. When I told you that it's a global phenomenon, it is. But I think what you're telling us is that's another level, right? That's the people are just going over what it seemed just bad mouthing, stalking, and yeah, that's just serious crime that they are doing. It's not just bad mouthing and talking bad things on your back, but it's like stalking, extortion, and things like serious crimes, right?
Death threats. There have been actual, and we've heard here and there a lot of these secret space program events. These people do drugs, they drink, and they party, and sexual exploits happen. And there's been a few things I've heard here and there that have been covered up. And it's just, eventually, they're not going to be able to quiet these people, and they're going to get sued. And all of it's all coming to a head, and a lot of the bad actors and LARPs and fakes are creating an environment that's really not sustainable, and it further puts a black eye on the SSP information and this community in general.
Yeah, but that's good that you're just coming out of it, and you're not inserted on that community anymore and doing your own thing. And if people just consume your products, like the movie and the documentary and TV shows as science fiction, that's okay. As you said, it's on their subconscious. I have an example here. I launched a book. Unfortunately, it's just in Portuguese, but I will translate definitely that book to English. It's well, on a free translation. It's the Human Manual, the name of the book, but it's like it's written as the idea is to have a manual to be a human on Earth, but that's just the idea. But the story is completely 100% fiction, but based on ascension theories and concepts. It's like a soul that comes from Maldak to Earth to experience here, and then he has to come back and do the ascension process here on Earth on various incarnations. So I wrote it's 100% fiction, but it's based on some ascension concepts, and people just love it. I put it for free on the website. It's for free. I'm not selling the book. And people just they get crazy when they read, because it's you get involved in the story. It's not like my first book. It's the answer for everything. It's just it's very it's like a school book. It's like a study book. So you have to study like the science, and you have to study some other things, and this book is 100% fiction. And people just got involved, and I tell people you can read it as a science fiction, no problem. Like SOS, they're taking us. You can read it as a science fiction. It's an entertaining book. You're going to people, when they start reading, they just can't finish it. It's just you see it one time and you're going to read the whole book, because it's you have the illustrations that they are just crazy. There's amazing illustrations. Yeah, that's wow. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. So you read a book from cover to back. You can read it as a science fiction. No matter. No, it doesn't matter. The thing is, the concepts, they're going to be on a subconscious. So that's what I'm aiming for, right? And that's what you're doing with the gaming industry, entertainment industry. Yeah, it's just crazy. Tiago is the illustrator, and the guy's just
it's really
talent.
He could work you in doing your visual novels if you do them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. And I know what makes me what's crazy in our stories, like when we are telling a story, and people are reading as a science fiction, like SOS, but it isn't. SOS, it's not science fiction. That's my life story. That's Lyell's life story. And when you do things related to the SSP, and your story is not 100% science fiction, it's your story. So it makes more realistic. I'm not sure if I'm giving the right message, but that's what I'm saying. When you watch a 100% science fiction movie, you can if it's a good writer, you can relate to that. But many times you watch those movies and say, that's not, no, I'm not buying it. But this is based on a true story, so that's what makes it more interesting.
Some of your personal experiences are in this book, or
yeah, mine and Lyell. Yeah. Both of us. We didn't intend to write like Fabio and Lyell on the book, so people would identify, oh, this is Fabio, this is Lyell. So we just merge our experiences in one character, and people don't know if it's me or him, like a strategy, right? So it's more interesting for us at this moment not to reveal what is me, what is him, but it's based on our life story.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So, there's been a lot of information and disinformation going around in the community for the last couple of years. One of the big ones was that the great aliens had been defeated and kicked out of our solar system, and that abductions were no longer occurring. And during when all of that crap was coming out, it's not true. I was being contacted by so many abductees that are saying this. It's happening more. It's picking up. It hasn't stopped. It's not slowing down. And have you know? Is it picking up, or has it gone away? What is it? Your experience and the people that you know who have had abduction experiences. What is the status?
Yeah, we have the same experience. Like it is picking up. It's definitely not stopped. I'm 100% sure. Since we launched SOS first in Portuguese, then in English, people are writing to us as crazy with their experience, and it's not like just childhood experiences, just like last month's experience, so last week's experience, like last night experiences. And we are receiving more and more emails each day about those experiences, and we just relate to them so much because it's what we've been through. Like, I can tell a story. I cannot tell 100% what is happening with me and Lael, but I can tell a story that we were abducted together last June last year.
That the story you told me, it was like a month after it happened when we met?
Yeah, that's the story I told you in person. Yeah. It's just a horrible story, and we got abducted 2 nights in a row by the grace, and the first night I completely blacked out. I just remember that I was taken like the next day or so. I could have memories of that, but Lyle remember almost everything, and we were just in panic. And the other night, we were just in the middle of nowhere, right? We were on the countryside of Brazil, in a beautiful place, like within nature, and was this cabana, right? We're just the two of us, and we got terrified.
Yeah, it's like a cabin, right?
A cabin, yeah, cabin, yeah. And we were just terrified, and we just asked our hierarchy, and we just talked to our friends, as let's say this way, and what's going on, and they send us some messages. But on the second night, that I remember, fortunately, and when we came back, it was crazy. One of us, I'm not saying who is who, but one of us just got dropped on the bed, like from 3 meters, or poof, just dropped on the bed, and the other one outside, and it was like 35 degrees Fahrenheit outside. It was really cold, really cold, and naked. So one of us was naked outside, just with a gel or something. It looked like alcohol gel, the one that you washed your hands. With a really strange smell, and it was like on a fetus position and couldn't move. It was like a bit like electricity on his body. Let me put it in a third person, on his body, and then one rescued him and put inside, and we just turned the fireplace on, and it was just crazy. And when we looked to the bed, the clothes were there, like someone just vanished. It's not took off the clothes, it was like the underwear and then the pants and then just one inside the other, and it was just a crazy experience, so it was
I remember
very
when you came to visit me, like you said, it happened like a month or two.
it was very recent.
The look in your eye and in your face, I mean, you still have some of it now, but you were horrified when you were recounting, that story to me, and it was very visceral.
Yeah, it was very traumatic, because it was people who've been through it probably understand me. It's like it was so real because we could remember almost everything, because on the majority of times, like, I don't know, maybe 70, 80, 90%, I don't know, we just don't remember anything, or just remember some it's like a bad dream, or you just see something passing rapidly, or no, but we could remember everything. We remember inside the ship what they are doing to us, and then we got rescued. We got rescued on the second night. So we talked to our friends the night before, and they rescued us on the second night, and then they told us why they let us being abducted, and that's another story. But just to make a long story short, they just took one of them. One of them was just to be in prison, and we were just bait. I know that's not a good thing to say, but that's how I define it. That's another word for that. We were bait.
I've been bait more than once, so in different situations. That's just how they work.
Yeah.
We're all pieces to them.
Yeah. So we were bait, but well.
So without getting into any horrible details, are there any details in this book about the ships, the examinations, the information that you gleaned in this process that you would want to share?
Yes, we definitely tell a lot of stories in this book. We tell some hybridization stories, how they do the hybrids. So they abduct women and men and take the genetic code from both, and they do some horrible things, like they women with those sometimes they are just they go to the doctor, and the doctor said, so you got you're not pregnant, you got the psychological pregnancy. I don't know the technical name, but it's not true. They were pregnant to the third month, for instance, and then the baby just vanished, and they have the proof that they did the ultrasound, they did some exams, and the woman was pregnant, and it just vanished on the third month. So we have a lot of these cases. We talk about one of them on the book, one that happened with us. We were a victim of this hybridization, and we talk about that on the book, and how they did that, and how they replaced the fetus at some point with one of them. So they took the human baby and placed another one of them for a couple of weeks, and then we were told that that's to gather DNA information. Not sure, and they just took everything out, and then the mother just lost the baby, and it's just
Take a second. That's how a baby gets its immune system. It gets it from the mother when it's in the womb, and a lot of other things like that happens. So maybe to acclimate them to some of the viruses and diseases that they would have to deal with interacting with humans, maybe that is one of the benefits of why they do it. It's to help them build that immune system and to maybe gather other genetic traits in the process.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And sometimes we heard and we saw sometimes they after the baby is born, they do not intend to put the parents together with the babies anymore. So they separate them usually. But we saw that sometimes they breastfeed the baby with the real mother. And I believe it's related to what you're talking about, the diseases and stuff, right?
Yeah, same reasons, I would believe.
Yeah, so it's
also one of the things that failure to thrive in babies. One of the things that I heard early on is that the gray ETs didn't understand why a lot of their hybrids were dying, and they needed those hybrid babies needed to be held by the mother, and every once in a while they would bring the mothers back to visit them and hold them and hug them.
Yes.
And that's when they started doing that. That's when they started having successful hybrid batches, I guess you would say. But
Yes.
A lot of these hybrid infants were dying from failure to thrive, or they were getting sociopathic kind of. They weren't blending well
Yep.
with our society.
Yeah, it makes sense. And the book instead of course it's called SOS They're Taking Us, and it has the abduction as the main point, but there's a story on the back that it's the story of humanity. It's the story why they're still here. It was your late question, like is this ramping up? Are they still here? And that's the answer. Of course, they're still here. They still have the problem that they're trying to solve. So they have a breeding problem. They cannot replicate anymore. So they're studying us. They're studying the DNA. They're doing the hybrids so they can fix their bodies. So they didn't achieve that yet. So they are here. They are ramping up because we are at the end of a cycle, right? And they have to ramp up. They are just crazy to do that before the end of the cycle. So I'm not seeing how this is not happening. I'm not sure if people who control the narrative is just spreading that it's not happening so people don't freak out. That's just the reason that I can imagine, but I don't care. People have to know that.
Yeah, I can't imagine either. I mean, one of the biggest things that I think most in the community who follow ufology don't realize is that the disclosure movement itself was created by people from the Rockefeller Initiative.
Yep.
So the Rockefellers brought in people to become influencers in the ufology field, and in doing so control disclosure, what comes out, what narrative is gets attention. So the disclosure community, going back to Stephen Greer, Linda Moulton Howe, all of those old time people, they've been here to control disclosure, not bring it. That's my opinion from everything that I've seen and been told. But the disclosure movement itself is a highly controlled movement, and for you to get your information seen on a large scale, it can be very difficult. And I know you've gone through some of that. But yeah, it's a crazy field.
Yeah, it is. It is very difficult to talk about those things. And when we talk about abductions, talking about the book and everything that we've been through since we launched the book early this year, is a lot of a lot of people from the UFO community in Brazil, in Portugal, came to us, and most of them, they don't believe what it's in there. They believe that they are all positive, that they're just here to help us, and I don't know.
That's the most dangerous narrative of all. You know, there are people out there that are like, oh, I can't hear the bad stuff, the evil stuff. Let's just talk about the good stuff and we'll manifest it. Well, that type of thinking and zero discernment is what has caused the majority of ufology to be tricked by these tricksters, these blonde-haired, blue-eyed ET tricksters who have been presenting themselves as angels and enlightened ETs for thousands of years to us and manipulating us in our religions. And when they do introduce themselves en masse to us, a good part of the UFO community, instead of saying, are these good guys or bad? What should I think of these guys? They're going to be like, the angels, the blue hair, the ones that we've been hearing about, they're here, you know, and there's just, humans are so programmed in that way. And the ufology fringe fields have really adapted these blonde-haired, blue-eyed savior ETs that are going to come down and save us from ourselves. And it's really dominating the field right now. It is dangerous. It causes people not to do the inner work, not to fight for freedom, because you know, it's already coming. Someone's going to come and do it for us and save us. So why should we get out on the streets and protest? Why should we push back on this or that? Why should we do all the work to change ourselves into being better people? It's all going to be done for us. And we give away our sovereignty, and we give away our positive future timeline in the process.
Yeah, we definitely should co-create a positive timeline, but it's not by denying what's happening.